What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be going through my week 7 picks and predictions for every top 25 game in college football. I'm just going to go through each game. I'm going to predict the score as well as the spreads and the over-unders. But before we do that, let's start off with looking at my results from last week. Last week, I actually started predicting every single game. I didn't record all my picks. I'm only recording my ranked picks. But overall, I went 35-16 just picking the game straight up. Against the spread, I went 26-25, and with my over-unders, I didn't do that great, going 23-28. But without further ado, let's predict the top 25 games for this upcoming week. This Friday night, the American Conference is about to shake up things. North Texas and number 24 South Florida will play each other. The winner of this game could end up having a good ranking and could be the favorite in that conference. All the big games in the American Conference with teams like Memphis, Tulane, North Texas, South Florida, they're all in the second half of this season. There's so many really good teams in that American Conference, and they will probably be the conference with a playoff representative. And this Friday night is one of the more important games. You got two high-powered offenses with two very good quarterbacks in North Texas and South Florida. But ultimately, I think North Texas is going to be able to force turnovers and make the difference. And I think Byron Brown is a bit better of a quarterback and more talented. I think South Florida has more proven wins, and even on the road, I think they can get it done. This South Florida defense is not perfect, but there's times where they're really good at forcing turnovers and getting the big hits and forcing fumbles. And I think they'll be able to win this game 35-32. I'm taking them to cover, and I have the over. Number 17 Illinois will play number 1 Ohio State Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Illinois is a good football team, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the big games, playing teams like Indiana, Oregon, and now Ohio State, they stand no chance. They just don't have the elite line of scrimmage play or great talent. Ohio State's defense will single-handedly win them this game, and they'll control the clock. They're just way too talented for this Illinois team. It might start slow. It might be like a 14-7 score at halftime, but ultimately Ohio State has too much offensive firepower. It could be a slow start on the road, like I said, but give me the Buckeyes to get it done. I think this could be the best team in the country. I have them beating Illinois on the road 38-14, cover in -16.5, and I have the over. We have another top 20 matchup. Number 14 Missouri will play number 8 Alabama. We got a lot of big time games I'm looking forward to this upcoming week. Missouri plays Alabama Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time. A lot of people are still questioning if this Alabama team is legit. Did they just play an overhyped Vanderbilt team? This will truly test them on the road against one of the best ground attacks in the nation in the Missouri Tigers. Ahmad Hardy is leading the country in rushing, and this dude is an absolute beast. Alabama has struggled with good running backs in the past, and Ahmad Hardy is so good I think he'll keep them in this game offensively. Bo Pribula can also make work at quarterback. He's a little bit underrated. He's got dual threat ability. I don't think Missouri is a bad team. They got a lot of talent out of the portal this offseason. And they have this game at home. Alabama's coming off of a couple of tough wins. This one could catch up to Alabama. Ultimately, I do think Missouri is going to play till the final minute. But in the end, I think that Alabama defense gets it done. Give me the Crimson Tide 27-24. I'll take Missouri plus 5.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 25 Florida State versus Pitt, Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Pitt had a backup quarterback step up for them last week, throwing for multiple touchdowns and a blowout win over Boston College. I think this is a Pitt team with potential. They got a brutal schedule. They are a very streaky team, but when they're at their best, they're tough to beat. They're not bad defensively. Ultimately, this is a must-win for Florida State. They've lost a couple of games. They have this one at home, and I do expect them to win it and cover. Give me Florida State 35-21, -9.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 4 Ole Miss versus Washington State, Saturday 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Nobody should expect this game to be close. Washington State has struggled with these high-tier opponents. Not saying Ole Miss is an elite team, but they're definitely very good. Ole Miss has this one at home, and Washington State has not looked great this year. They also don't have John Mateer anymore. They have a pretty weak defense. Give me Ole Miss to roll through this game, winning 45-10. I do think they'll cover, and I have the under. We then have a top 10 matchup between number 3 Oregon and number 7 Indiana, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Game day will be heading to Eugene, Oregon. Oregon's got another chance to make a huge statement. The Penn State win hasn't aged the best, but this Indiana team has been dominant. They're undefeated, and they are a top 7 opponent. Oregon has been nearly unbeatable at Autzen Stadium in recent memory with head coach Dan Lanning. I don't expect that to change. Indiana has struggled when they play high-tier opponents. They could beat up on all the small teams, but this Oregon team is elite at the line of scrimmage, and they have elite quarterback play, they have elite talent, and Autzen Stadium is one of the best home field advantages in the nation. I don't expect this one to be that close. Indiana will hang around for a little bit, but give me the Oregon Ducks 35-17, -7.5, and I have the under. The next game is Texas playing number 6 Oklahoma Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is very likely that John Mateer is not playing in this game unless a miracle happens. And I don't love this spot for Oklahoma. I believe it is a neutral site game, but without John Mateer and playing a Texas defense that is very good, they're coming off of a loss on the road at Florida. They're going to be looking for a bounce back because this is a desperate game for them. Ultimately, I think Texas has what it takes to bounce back and get a win in this game. I think it's going to be very close. It's going to be some sloppy offensive performances. But that Texas offense has been so bad, you think it would step up at one point. I think they do enough in this game. 21-17, I think they win it. I'm taking them -2.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 13 Georgia Tech playing Virginia Tech Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Georgia Tech hardly ever covers any of these spreads, but they're also a team that can win in many different ways and beat some very good football teams. It's just their style of play. They really play down to their competition and they play up to their competition. They really control the clock, and when they rely on Haynes King at quarterback, this team can win. I do think they'll be able to win this game. It's probably going to be close. Give me Georgia Tech in a weird score, 31-22, I'll say. I will take Virginia Tech plus 14.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 16 Notre Dame versus NC State. This game will be played Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I really don't know if NC State has what it takes to compete with this Notre Dame team. Notre Dame continues to show great things every week. They had those 2 losses by a combined 4 points to 2 top 5 teams, but their defense has stepped it up, only allowing their last 2 opponents to a combined 20 points. They have an explosive offense, and when they feed Jeremiah Love the ball, this offense is nearly unstoppable. NC State does not have a great defense, so I don't expect this one to be that close. Give me Notre Dame 41-14. I do think they'll cover -22.5, and I have the under. The next game is Colorado versus number 22 Iowa State, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Regardless of the loss Iowa State had last week, I still think this is a solid football team. I think they just played one of the best offenses in the Big 12 in Cincinnati. They didn't play their best game either. They have a couple of top cornerbacks out, but Colorado's not a great team this year. I like Iowa State on the road in this game. Rocco Becht will bounce back. Give me Iowa State 31-24, covering -4.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 12 Tennessee versus Arkansas, Saturday 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. This game's a bit unpredictable in my eyes. Tennessee has struggled with Arkansas in recent memory, but Arkansas looks so bad against Notre Dame. They are coming off of a bye week, and we've seen in the last couple of years as the season goes on, they get worse and worse. They don't get better. But Tennessee also has a pretty bad defense, and Taylor Green is such a good quarterback. I think Arkansas could score some points and keep this game somewhat close for a majority of the game. But Tennessee does have it at home. Ultimately, I am going to take them to win it. I don't really see them getting upset in this game. I'm taking Tennessee 37-28, but I do think Arkansas will find a way to cover plus 12.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 5 Texas A&M versus Florida, Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be a hard-fought game. Billy Napier will probably keep this game close. But near the end of this game, similar to the Miami game, similar to the LSU game, Texas A&M's trenches will wear down Florida, and I think their defense will wear them down. Texas A&M doesn't have the greatest secondary, but they've stepped it up. They got a very good pass rush. A&M's ground attack will lead them to a win late in this game. I think they win 27-17, maybe a late touchdown. I think they'll find a way to cover -8.5. I'm taking the under for this game as well. The next game is number 9 Texas Tech versus Kansas, Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Kansas is a team that could give Texas Tech a run for their money. They got a high explosive offense, and maybe that Texas Tech secondary can look a little weak in this game. We haven't seen Texas Tech really play an elite passing attack this year, and this Kansas passing attack has been very efficient. Kansas also does not have the best defense either, and it will be on the road. I'm just saying watch out for Kansas to keep this game close and possibly a shootout. But I am really thinking this Texas Tech team is different and that front seven is elite. They got a lot of great transfers and I just think they'll win this game. Give me Texas Tech 39-21 and the cover minus 14.5, and I have the under for this game. The next game is Auburn versus number 10 Georgia, Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Auburn is coming off of a bye week. Maybe they clean some of the offensive line issues up. But right now, I just do not have great hopes for Auburn. They have looked so bad offensively through the last couple of weeks because they cannot block the quarterback. And we know how this Georgia defense is. They might not be as good as they usually are, but Kirby Smart's going to take advantage of that weak Auburn offense. I don't expect Georgia to just dominate them. Auburn's defense is decent. Georgia's not the same dominant team like they used to be, but I do think they can get this win on the road 27-13, covering minus 3.5, and I have the under. The next game is USC versus number 15 Michigan, Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Really, I'm just going to take the home team in this game. I think it's a flip-flop. But Michigan traveling across the country to play USC on the road is not going to be easy. USC is not a bad football team. They still have a bit of a shaky and Pac-12 defense, but they do have a better line of scrimmage and a good rushing attack. And I think they have enough in this game to win it 27-24, minus 1.5 for USC, and I have the under. The next game is number 11 LSU versus South Carolina, Saturday 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. I think the potential with LSU is there, but can they really put it together? They're coming off of a bye week. That offense has the talent, but they just have not found their footing. The offensive line has definitely reloaded, but not in a great way. They have a lot of new faces. The run game hasn't been super efficient, but South Carolina's defense hasn't been all that great this season. The pass defense is a bit overrated. I think LSU will do a little bit better in this game offensively. I think they have a better game and win it 27-14. That defense is still elite. I have them covering minus 9.5, and I have the under. The next game is Arizona versus number 18 BYU, Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I thought about picking the upset in this game, but BYU has just been a type of team. When they're on upset alert, even if it's close, they always find ways to win games with a stout defense and a good coaching staff. This one's going to be tricky on the road. I think Arizona's better this year. They got some decent offensive upside, but ultimately BYU is the better team. Give me BYU 31-24 on the road, covering minus 2.5, and I have the over. And finally, we move on to Utah versus number 21 Arizona State, Saturday 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we're going to see a matchup of two very stout defenses, but ultimately I think the difference in this game is going to be Arizona's run game and Sam Levitt at quarterback. He's so underrated. Arizona State could have 3 losses right now, but they found ways to win games. They had the one loss to Mississippi State. It was on the road though. They've bounced back since then, and I think Arizona State could go back to the Big 12 title. I think they're a well-coached team, and they're capable of winning this game on the road. We saw how Utah really got dominated at the line of scrimmage against Texas Tech. I still think Utah has one of the better defenses in the Big 12, but give me Arizona State to grind out a win on the road in this game, 27-24 in a close one, maybe walk-off field goal. I'll take Arizona State plus 4.5, and I have the over. But anyways, that is going to do it for my Week 7 picks and predictions. You guys let me know your predictions for this week down in the comments below. And let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content. And we basically cover everything on this channel, so definitely consider subscribing. And also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. And in the pinned comment, you can find my YouTube membership for $5 a month. In that membership, you have exclusive perks and you can talk college football with me Saturday mornings before the games start. You can talk about the predictions with me or whatever, and that will be in my Discord server if you guys are interested in joining that membership. But anyways, that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.